This tutorial is going to cover how to search Primo for scholarly journal articles. Primo is the search box on the library homepage. We've tried to make it as easy to find as possible, and that's because it searches everything we own. It searches all of our books, all of our online and print journal articles, all of our videos. In another tutorial, I'll cover why you might sometimes want to use a social work database, but for this tutorial, we're just focusing on Primo. I'm going to use the keywords post-traumatic stress disorder and treatment. So here are my results for my keyword search. And what I like to do first before we even look at these in depth is to think about how could we limit our search results and would we want to do that. So the most common limiter that students use is to limit their search to peer-reviewed journals. And that will essentially take out all of the books, ebooks, videos from our search. So let's go ahead and do that. Another good tip, if you're going to be searching for a while, is to lock this search limiter in place. And we do that by hovering our mouse and clicking on the lock. So now, even if I change up my keywords, which I probably would at some point, that peer-reviewed journals limiter is going to stay there. A couple other things that might be relevant to you, you may think about limiting by publication date. So if you really just want to see what's been out there in the last 10 years, for example, we can put in 2008, refine our search, and now you can see that we have both of those limiters in there. Let's look at this first one, influence of early stress on memory reconsolidation, implications for post-traumatic stress disorder treatment. I like to click on the article title to see the abstract of the article, which is right here. This gives me a good sense of what this article is about. I also like to see the subject headings. In this case, they're not super helpful, but sometimes they are. And then if I decide that I want to see the full text of this article, I will click on full text available. Now, where that link will take you will vary depending upon the article that you've chosen. But what you want to look for on this landing page is something that says PDF full text, download PDF, or in this case, it just says full text. And then once you have the PDF, you have the full text, then you are able to download things, print them, save them to your computer, and do all that good stuff. And again, we got there by clicking on full text available. Let's look at one more example. I'm going to click on the full text for article number 3. And you can see this took me to another database that looks a little bit different from the first one. And again, what I'm looking for is that PDF full text button, which takes me to a page where I can download and print this article. Let me show you a few more fun things in Primo. If you're doing research and you know you're going to be gathering a couple different articles to look at later, I recommend using this little pin. So you can see as I go along and I'm saying, yes, this looks good, and I pin them. Now I have this little pin button up here, and if I click on that, I can see everything that I've saved. And then you can either sign in up here using your NAS credentials, and then these items will be saved forever in your Primo account, or you can select them all and email them to yourself. And essentially what this will email is a link back to the database. But there's just a couple different things that you can do here. I like to email things to myself if I'm doing sort of casual research, but if I know I want to come back to these over a long period of time, I would definitely choose to sign in and save them for good. Let's go back to the Primo page by clicking on this magnifying glass. So by doing that, we're getting out of our saved favorites back to our search. And one more thing that you might find helpful about Primo, and a lot of databases will do this, so let me just show you. Sometimes you want to know what this article would look like if you put it in your bibliography of your paper. So if you click on the little quote marks, it will give you what I call a rough draft of a citation. So this is APA style. It's giving us this text here, and then we could copy this and put it into our Word document or our Google Drive document, wherever we're writing our paper. What I do recommend, though, is double checking these citations to make sure they're completely accurate. So either using OWL at Purdue, the APA handbook, or any materials that your professor might have provided you with, just to make sure that it's an exactly correct APA style citation. You can also contact us at the library because we can help with that. But it's always nice to have something to sort of start from. So that's what that quotation mark is all about. And those are the basics of using Primo. So if you have any questions, please contact us at the library and we're happy to help you out.